everybody. It's another episode of what's this show called again? FANFIC TALK Mini?
FANFIC Mini.
Oh, right. Yeah. This is just the third
It's
episode.
a mini fanfic.
Exactly. Even though, I mean, it's still like 15k words, or no, not 15k.
And this is episode 3.
Yep. We're still doing these. FANFIC Talk is alive and well, except that it doesn't actually have fanfic.
It's a big
talk.
hit.
Yeah.
You know, it really brings in the money.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give the fans what they want.
Now, please do not draw attention to the fact that the channel called FANFIC Talk no longer posts videos just called FANFIC Talk. The FANFIC Talk videos are now on Wax Penguins. We've been over this though. That has no bearings on this. Now,
now this is epic.
And speaking of epic cheese,
what
is the topic for today's epic episode?
Is it Mario?
Yes, it is Mario. Did you actually forget?
No.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is. It's Mario. We were trying to come up with what are some things that we both like, and because I think we're already through it all. I think it's just these Mario, Paper Mario, which we did with the Bug Fables one, and Metal Gear. So I think we're all out of things now.
The problem is you don't like a lot of things.
I like stuff, but the stuff I like is stuff that you really don't know a lot about, like Star Trek. You know, you've watched some of it, and I'm sure we'll do an episode.
I can still do a Star Trek one.
I know, we probably will. I'm just saying, though, in terms of things that we both really like and both know a lot about, it's a very fine line, but.
You don't like stuff.
You know, I'm a bit more picky. I'm a picky connoisseur of art and media. Sometimes.
I'm very open-minded.
But, you know, in future episodes, we might get some more guests on, and you can talk to people who like Lord of the Rings or something, you know, normal people, and not me who's never seen Lord of the Rings and has no idea what on earth's going on.
I don't think anybody I know likes Lord of the Rings that much.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh,
I told...
You're alone there.
I know I told Austin... Oh, people in my family do, but...
Okay. Well, you'll have to bring on your mom for the next episode.
I told Austin that I liked Lord of the Rings better than Harry Potter, and he disagreed.
Okay. Friendship ruined, or friendship just on the rocks?
I'm gonna say it's ruined.
Okay. Well, you know, these things happen. And this is what happens when you try to talk about stuff that you like. This is why we have to be careful when we're picking out these topics. But today is about Super Mario Bros. Or just Mario. I don't know what this story is about. I hardly even looked at it beforehand. I just picked it a few hours ago. So yeah, we could be in for a rough time or a great time. A super time, even. So, geez, if you could read the description.
I don't know, this one looks like a good time.
You think so?
Yeah, it says it's a Super Mario and Zelda crossover.
Oh, I didn't notice that until just now. Yeah, there it is.
I did not
honestly
see that. Okay, they're okay. The Mario and Rabbids game, pretty good, right?
Right. Yeah.
But still, everybody's like, why Rabbids? Why don't they crossover with Zelda? That'd be pretty cool. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Nintendo's weird about its properties crossing over. It happens, but I don't know.
I wonder what they would do if they did that. If they could make it into a RPG kind of thing.
Oh yeah, there's plenty they could do with it, but they're just so strange about how their properties interact with one another that I'm just not sure if it would ever be on the table, unless it was like a party game or something. That's the closest I could ever see to these things really overlapping in any way. Instead, we have to get Rabbids. Just
imagine the Mario and Rabbids crossover, but with Zelda and the characters.
Yeah.
And
there's this whole thing.
I don't know.
We kind of already talked about this when we were talking about Paper Mario and some of its like creative restrictions.
Oh, I have a good idea.
What's your idea?
I was trying to decide, okay, in that crossover, what world would they be in? Okay, so here's the thing. Here's one of the coolest things in the game.
Okay.
You could switch between the Mario world and the Zelda world, so you have 2 different worlds to explore. Very vast kind of worlds.
Yeah, I could see that. There's lots they could do.
I mean, that sounds... saying 2 worlds sounds lame, but if you make them have plenty with different kinds of things, it'd be pretty cool.
No, yeah, I think there's so much they could do, even outside of that. There's so many Nintendo properties that could benefit from crossing over with Mario and, like, up their sales. You know, Metroid. I know Metroid Dread was announced recently at a pretty decent Nintendo Direct. Metroid has struggled in the past to sell well, just by happenstance. It's been on, like, consoles during bad times. Just hasn't gotten the exposure it's needed. Pair it with Mario, and boom, you're gonna up those sales significantly instead of pairing it with Rabbids.
That'd be cool.
It's
yeah,
strange.
the Rabbids. I mean, it has these, you know, little cartoony guns. Samus has a gun.
Yeah.
So why not cross over with
built.
Metroid?
I mean, like I was gonna say earlier, it kind of harkens back to what we were talking about with Paper Mario and some of the restrictions that are placed on that. I think the Mario series as a whole, they have to pair up Mario with unique and creative things like you see in the new Rabbids trailer, Rift Apart. Not Rift Apart, that's for Ratchet and Clank.
Rift Apart!
Whatever the new Rabbids and Mario game is.
Is it Sparks of Hope?
Yes, thank you. And but it seems like they
have to. It
looks
pretty good.
Yeah, but it seems like for them to actually give Mario like a unique setting, like space, and have him do wacky
jump
things.
Through so many hoops.
He has to be with something that doesn't fit with that world. It can't just be a Mario game where he goes to space. God. He has to be paired with Rabbids.
There's a Rabbit Rosalina now.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see lots of other Rabbid versions of characters, if there are any other characters, I don't know.
Okay, so this next one is going to take place in space, so that fits the whole Metroid crossover pretty well.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe we've only seen one trailer.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, what if it's just a rabbit in Samus's suit with like ears?
Well, that would be the closest you'd get. You wouldn't actually get the real Samus. You'd just get Rabbid Samus. Even that, though, it would at least be something. I don't know. But anyways, I guess we should finally get to this story.
Just on another note on Metroid is that it has its fans, but I think one of the main reasons why it doesn't sell well is because like there's like all the 2D side-scroller games. That's like the majority of them. They're all on like handhelds. This is Prime and this Dread game are like the only ones on consoles.
Yeah, and not only that, but they're not putting a lot of the other Metroid games on the Switch for people to play. A lot of them you can get on the Wii U, but nobody owns a Wii U. So it's like Nintendo just doesn't care. They're releasing Metroid 5 and they're releasing Metroid Prime 4, but is anyone going to want to buy those if they can't play the other games? Nintendo's just putting themselves in really weird positions that they could easily get around if they would just port some of these games over already.
Yeah.
Do they want us to emulate? Because people will do it. Anyways, we need to get to this story, though. We'll get back to harping on Nintendo
Metroid
later.
confirmed for the next fanfic mini.
I don't know anything about Metroid, though. I guess you'd have to fill me in as we go.
I mean, there's not really much to learn.
Lady shoots
Ridley.
laser blasts.
Well, that was one of the things I like about Metroid. Is just it's kind of the same reason I like Pikmin. Why we like Pikmin.
I wouldn't have expected that to cross over.
Well, they both take place on alien planets, so there's just so much potential there.
Okay. All right. No, I see that
All kinds of
connection.
things you could do. All different kinds of creatures there could be, places to go.
Well, maybe this story that we're going to read will, make us think of a better Nintendo project than what we'll probably ever be getting anytime soon. So can you read the description for Super Mario and His Shoe by Glowing Fish?
The first 12 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, we get carried away sometimes. I'm sorry for you, those of you viewers who are just here for the fanfics. But we
they're not.
It's important. It's important that we get on these tangents.
Let's get to the meat of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, we haven't even said what the title. Okay, I'll say the title. Super Mario and His Shoe by Glowing Fish.
All right.
Mario finds a shoe that makes him invincible, but will absolute power corrupt absolutely.
When I read that description, I knew this would be the story for us. All right, so I guess I will start reading this story. I'm very curious to see where this goes. Somewhere deep in
This might be the first time I've been excited for a fanfic.
You've been excited for... Well, no, I guess not. It's been a while since we've done a Mario one, too, so... Somewhere deep in the forests of the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario, the heroic plumber, was pinned down by hordes of enemies. The enemies surrounding Mario in the dark, confusing forest he was lost in consisted of reptiles, mammals, plants, fungus, and automatons. Wait, is that correct? Automations. I don't know if they meant to say automatons, but it says automations. All clicking and clacking, hunting angrily for the poor... Oh.
Beleaguered.
Beleaguered? I've never seen that word before. Beleaguered?
I think I've heard it, but I don't know.
Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong? Wow. I rarely come across words that I've never seen before.
Let's make this vocab talk.
Oh boy, yeah. We need somebody else to help us out with this one.
I know that I've heard it. Or at least read it.
Maybe. Mario had gotten in this situation because for the 2,000th time in the past...
I got it.
What?
Means in a very difficult situation, surrounded by armed forces aiming to capture it or force surrender, besieged.
Oh, that's a very fitting word then. This is pretty much perfectly tailored for what's happening right now. Very good.
So I gotta give this guy points already because that's a big word that Dominic didn't know that he used correctly.
Yeah. Good job. Maybe, the easy way to do that is to just type in a word that you do know, like surrounded, and then type that in on like synonyms.com, and then you get all sorts of words. Not that I'm suggesting that's what he did here. Maybe this guy is like a genius writer in his own right.
I'm sure that glowing fish is a genius.
Mario had gotten in this situation because for the 2,000th time in the past 20 years, a princess had wandered off and gotten herself locked in a dungeon. He wasn't even sure on the specifics. He just knew that when someone said to run and jump, he did it. Mario was approaching 50, and his joints ached as he hid in the cold ground. Mario's only he's supposed to just be 20 to 25. I don't even think he's 25. I think he's like 23 or something.
He's been in the hero business a while now.
Yeah, so this takes place in the future, I guess.
He's probably broken his no-killing code by now.
Almost certainly, yeah. That was the first thing to go. Mario needed an out. And this is when Mario looked up and saw a Goomba jumping along. A jumping Goomba? I've never seen that.
Yeah, they jump sometimes.
They do? Okay. I guess when they have wings, they kind of jump. That's more of like a slight flight.
I think I've seen some just... sometimes if they see you, they'll do a hop and then chase you.
Oh, that's true. You got me there. Oh, okay, but the story goes on to explain how he's jumping along. We were too quick to judge. But not just any Goomba. This Goomba was mostly encased in a gigantic shoe. Big enough.
I forgot about that.
Big enough for his entire body. It had been years since Mario had seen one of these, but right away he knew what it meant. It meant salvation from the fear and pain. Okay? Using the last of his plumber's strength, he snuck up on the Goomba, hit it from underneath, and jumped into its shoe.
Oh, God.
Why would someone make a story about this power-up in particular? Whatever, we'll get back to that. I'll read one more. Mario felt a surge of power and well-being come over him. He yelled with pleasure as the shoe fit snugly around his cold, weary body. How that word, just like, yahoo! He's very impressed. It fits him perfectly. The enemies turned to look at him, just awkwardly, finally seeing their elusive foe in plain view. They rushed towards him, but they didn't realize that this wasn't the Mario of a while ago. This was a Mario invigorated by the most powerful weapon he could have. Mario yelled in exultation, bringing his shoed body down on Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Buzzy Beetles, Spinies, and other foes quickly were stomped under Mario's heel. Oh boy.
I think you're going a little bit, you're a little too enthusiastic about this fan fiction. You've read 3 paragraphs.
I like where this is going. Mario's being corrupted
You're
by the
hogging
shoe.
all of the fanfic.
He's corrupted. It's a corrupted Mario. He's
I'll
lost
read
his
it.
mind. Look at this next thing. You get to say it.
Mario laughed with glee. I can just do the regular voice. Then he turned around. He saw something moving, but it wasn't an enemy. It was Toad. Or one of the Toads.
Yes, there are many.
We know there's like hundreds
Millions.
of them.
They're everywhere. It's a
After-
fungus. They spread.
After Origami King.
Yeah. That takes place in the far-flung future
Let's
where
not
the
get
toads are
started
just
on
everywhere.
Origami King.
When every
After-
episode
That
is
was-
about Origami King secretly.
After 20 years in the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario still couldn't tell them apart.
Help me, Mario!
Toad sniveled in cowardly fear, depending on the plumber to save him once again. Mario hopped into action, willing to save another troubled Mushroom Kingdom resident. But at the last moment, a new thought crossed his mind.
Oh no.
Perhaps
Mario, don't.
enabled by the feeling of power that his newfound footwear had provided. Oh. Instead of
darker take
humbling
on Mario.
offering to help, this is a darker Mario than we're used to.
Yeah.
Instead of humbly offering to help Toad, he instead jumped right on his head, flattening his big fungal top.
I've had enough of you lazy mushroom kingdom types and having to save you every time. After 20 years of bailing you out, I am still wearing sewage-stained overalls while you lounge around in your palaces. I've had enough.
Oh my gosh. This is like the Mario that I imagine in like the Smash Bros art, because every time you see Mario in like Smash Bros, he just looks like so angry, like he just wants to kill
Oh yeah,
everything.
he's always glaring.
Yeah, just sneering. This is good. This story is off to a pretty good start. He's squashing toads. You know, I'm not much of a Toad fan myself, so
Yes, you are.
I can't say I'm a big Toad fan. Can I just say this really fast?
You're a
Just a
fan of
weird
the
anecdote. I think I was reading an article recently where like there's this big survey done someplace where they asked what your favorite Mario character was, and Mario only came in second place. Would you like to know what Mario character came in first place?
Oh, Waluigi?
Not Waluigi, no. Not even the memes could save Waluigi, and it's not Toad either. It was Yoshi of all people. I
can see
don't
that.
know why.
Who couldn't love Yoshi?
Yoshi's cool, and I guess he kind of speaks to all demographics. He's a dino. Everybody likes dinos.
Dino, they're extinct.
Yeah. So, yeah, people are just giving Yoshi some love. Maybe Yoshi will appear in this story and take Mario out. Wait a
Luckily.
minute. It doesn't look like the author's going he's not really going the full way here. He's not, he didn't kill the Toad. And the next thing it says, luckily Toad wasn't
Wait
hurt.
a minute, why are you spoiling?
Well, you were there anyways.
Luckily, Toad wasn't hurt. Both
Aw.
because he had a big squishy head, and this is a relatively non-violent story.
Aww. Well,
But
this story just lost several points.
Why was Mario mad at them? And how could they stop Mario now that he had the unstoppable shoe?
The Mushroom Kingdom was on a state of high alert. Mario and his invincible shoe was rampaging through the kingdom, stomping on whatever he saw, whether it was his former foes or his supposed friends. Uh-oh, even his brother Luigi couldn't stop him. Oh my gosh. Soon a gigantic armada of former enemies had gathered to stop Mario. Bowser, his children, oh, the children. Okay, they're not going to list them off. I thought we were going to get a appearance. No, I thought we were going to get appearance from Ludwig for sure.
Look, Wart.
Wart?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Wart's here, yeah, from Super Mario Bros. 2. I should mention, I guess, because we haven't gone on a tangent in a little while, I'm something of a Super Mario Bros. 2 fanboy. I'm kind of an expert at it, actually. I've been trying to do a no-death run in Super Mario Bros. 2 for like 3 years. Haven't pulled that off yet, but eventually it'll happen. Should we mention to the people
All right.
how we feel about some of the older Mario games and our struggles with them?
For any who have seen the Clifford the Big Red Dog movie trailer, please leave in the comments below what you think.
What? Cheese? Why'd you bring
That's
that up?
just my random thing that I
Your
say,
random
and
movie
then
thing of the day?
and then and then leave alone.
Anyways, the point I was trying to make is that some of the older Mario games that people really hold in high regard, like Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, me and Cheese have tried them, and we're kind of terrible at them.
Oh God, it's awful.
I mean, not just kind of. It's a miserable experience
It's
for both
garbage.
of us. Yeah, it's hard for me to call them garbage because I know other people do better at it.
No,
and
I
maybe
mean
we're
garbage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Which is strange.
I'm saying that the experience is garbage.
Right. It's strange, though, because you play a lot of games. You in particular. Me, I can understand being bad at it, but, like, you're always playing different stuff. You would think that you would be good at the fast reactions and platforming here and there.
I've never tried playing it by myself.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe we always play it sometimes when we're in the same place at the same time. So maybe we just kind of distract one another in that case and make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. I don't know, though. I can't get the controls down for those older Mario games, and so Mario 2, I think I do a lot better with. It's technically a easier game, but it also makes more sense. You know, you have Mario 3 and Mario World where, like, there are boo houses and puzzles that you have to solve, otherwise you can't progress. It's just strange. There's more variety, but it also just leaves room for a lot more confusion and tedium. And yeah, I don't know. And I don't like the momentum either in those games. Like, you try to run and then stop, and Mario just keeps running. It just keeps sprinting and falls off cliffs. In Mario 2, if you stop, the character just instantly stops. Beautiful. Rustic.
The only games where a boo house can be fun is one of the 3D games.
Sure,
a boo
yeah.
house level cannot be fun in any of the other level-based ones.
Yeah, it just seems stressful to me, and I haven't been through them all, but, like, you're on a timer, first of all. Mario 2 has no timer.
Like,
But
even in the Super Mario 3D World, I hate the boo house levels there, too. They're terrible.
Oh, okay. So
hate
even
'em.
3D isn't always safe from getting the boo houses, right?
Any of the boo house levels, or spooky, whatever you want to call it, is good in the more open ones.
Sure. I'm surprised Mario Odyssey didn't include any kind of
Yeah, that'd have
boo
been cool.
ghost thing. Maybe we'll have to wait for Odyssey 2.
2.
Yeah.
Really,
Everybody's waiting for Odyssey 2. Where is it, Nintendo?
Yeah, because the Fury Bowser was probably experimenting with the new concept they wanted to use for 2.
Yeah.
That's a theory that's obviously been tossed around, but I think it's plausible.
I expect to see some more ghost stuff in Odyssey 2. They kind of already did it because Cappy himself is a ghost, but that's not really what we're talking about here.
Because
We have to fight King Boo. So Lakitu, Wart, Wario, the Princess, Toad, Luigi, and Yoshi, there he is, surrounded by armies of foot soldiers and with a fleet of airships all surrounded Mario. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but cannonballs and spinies and bullet bills and stomps and magic stomps. I think they might have said that right. You think they meant like thwomps? Or are they talking about those things in Mario 64 that like walk around and go, ugh? Are those called stomps?
Those are womps.
Oh, darn it. Well, I don't know what this guy's talking about then.
I think, no, those aren't they thwomps?
There's thwomps and womps, but he's saying stomps
Womps are
here.
the ones that like float in the air.
Yeah. I just don't know what a stomp is. So
Stomp.
not true fan, unless a stomp is a real thing, in which case we'll look quite foolish right now. Moving
Where's
on.
Spike?
And, oh yeah, Spike too. Yeah, we're missing some characters here. Waluigi isn't even here. Why is Wario here? And Magic Blast all brushed harmlessly off of Mario, and his adamantium boot quickly smashed and stomped the gathered
It's an
opposition.
adamantium boot.
Or just some more crossovers. Speaking of crossovers, Link isn't here yet. I guess he must be the one that comes in to save the day. He also yelled vitriol at them, telling them that after decades of being the one who did all the work, he was no longer their slave. They were hurt and confused by his betrayal, and even more afraid of what was going to happen. Could anything stop Mario and his shoe? Well, he can't be that powerful. He stepped on a toad earlier and just he squashed it, but it was fine because of its squishy head.
Yeah.
The princess looked out at the shattered remnants of the Allied army. It was reminiscent of the Battle of Wolf 359. Star Trek reference here, too? That's what that is. That's a Star Trek reference. Yeah, that is.
Oh my god.
Just throwing everything at the wall, see what sticks. Although, as mentioned, much less violent, the princess knew she had only one chance. If nothing in the dimension of the Mushroom Kingdom could stop the rampaging, insane Mario, she would have to find help elsewhere. The princess ran away.
Talk about a Zelda Mario crossover game. It's pretty fitting for this episode, then.
Yeah, quite. There's so like you said, there's so much that they could do with lots of properties. Mario and Zelda in particular, they sell really well on their own. I can only imagine how they'd sell together if the plot were up to snuff, which it probably wouldn't be. Let's be honest, even if they did put these two together, the plot would just be something really lame and safe. Like Bowser kidnaps Princess Zelda, and so they have to team up to stop Bowser. It would still be cool, but that would be the extent of it. It's like, story, who needs it? Have some puzzles. We're looking at you, Origami King. Origami King has a story. It's not a bad story. It has some pretty big pitfalls. There's some big problems with it, but that's not the point of this video. We can't talk about Paper Mario again.
What are the origins of the Goombas?
The origins of the Goomba? Yeah, we need a story about that. You see, if the Mario team were to go the direction of the Sonic team, we would have an explanation on where Goombas hail from and like how they've evolved over the years. There'd be a story where Mario becomes the Black Knight. I think that's what Nintendo's afraid of. I've told you this before, I think, but I think they're afraid of taking too big of steps with Mario because, and I'm not saying this specifically is why, but this is the greater problem. They don't want it to turn out like Sonic has, where Sonic has just gone in so many weird directions that it's kind of become a laughingstock. Like he becomes a werewolf, he becomes a Black Knight, or he's in a night game.
Well, I mean, I have a solution to that.
What's your solution?
Don't do all the stupid things that Sonic did.
Oh, yeah, you could easily learn from some of those stupid mistakes. And if you're looking for stupid mistakes in the gaming industry, look at Sonic. Just look at him. Sorry, we're hard on Sonic.
I hate Sonic.
Sorry, he's made some mistakes over the years. Sonic, he's like that guy that you knew from high school, and you see some posts from him now and again where he's just like going down the tubes, and he doesn't know why.
I'm going down the tube, man. I'm going down the tube.
So yeah, I'm not saying specifically that like Miyamoto is in his office saying, "Oh, we can't let him become like Sonic." That's probably not the case, but they're just afraid of Mario, like the brand being diluted with all these super off concepts that just don't work at all.
That's why
you have to find that middle ground. You can't just remain in your safe little hut of, oh, well, I'm kidnap Peach. You gotta stray away from it a little bit. Can't use that as a crutch forever.
Why is Ubisoft making Mario spin-off games and Nintendo isn't just making them?
Well, like I said earlier, I think it has something to do with the fact that they can't allow the brand to be diluted unless they kind of give it to somebody else and pair it with something that's not from the Mario universe, so it becomes like this hybrid.
I don't think there should be any of these stupid rules.
We don't know for sure that this is what's going on, but it sure seems like it. Anyways, the princess ran away from the enraged Mario, jumping into a warp pipe. The warp pipes under the Mushroom Kingdom had a weird topology, and only a few knew all the secrets. The princess was one of these few, deep in the pipes. She steered through the forgotten passages until she emerged
deep in the pipes, Luigi.
I guess you can take it from here.
No.
What?
No.
You can't say no. You can't.
Okay.
You don't have freedom of choice here.
Standing in front of the princess was Link, wearing his green
there.
tunic and swinging his sword, bruh.
Why is he swinging his sword? Is he trying
to
kill Peach?
I don't know. I think he might just be practicing.
Oh, okay.
A fair princess. He can talk.
Oh yeah, he's talking. Maybe this is based off the Link from that terrible cartoon.
A fair princess, said Link. You look like you have come from some distant land in need of the help of a brave adventurer.
Oh yeah, this is definitely based on the cartoon version.
Yes and no. I do need help, but I need help from someone more powerful than you.
Huh?
I have heard of your works, but in this realm are men who control forces that are my only hope. Do you understand, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't understand. Link doesn't either.
Roham?
Oh, yeah, maybe this is where King Roham, the epic gamer, comes in.
Not at all.
Link said morosely, sheathing his sword. The princess ran through Hyrule as fast as she could, finding a group of old men in dungeons, who all looked identical. Oh. Using her... Do you get it?
I don't think so. I'm not familiar with elderly men.
In the very first Zelda game, there were all these caves throughout the game. And, like, these elderly characters are in them selling stuff, and they all look the same.
Oh, okay.
And at the beginning, he gives you the sword and says it's dangerous to go
Right.
alone. Take
I'm familiar
this.
with that much. That's the extent of my Zelda knowledge.
Using her Funko Wiles. I don't know what that means.
It's just her charm.
She persuaded them to return with her to the Mushroom Kingdom outside of the
minute.
palace.
So this is a Mario Zelda crossover, but instead of Link having any role, it's just elderly men.
That's right.
That's great. If so, if that's what's happening.
She gave them a stack of firewood and waited for the bouncing, insane shape of Mario to show up. As Mario approached, all he saw was a field full of old men in front of fires. Oh.
Very threatening.
The old Mario. Knowing he could easily bounce on fires and on old men.
Sure, how close are we to the... Okay, we're pretty close to the end. The story didn't drag. At least not yet. The old men, I never thought in a million years this is where the story would have gone. The old men replied,
Oh boy.
"Go to the next room. Dodongo dislikes smoke. Secret is in the tip of the nose." Jeez, does any of this make sense?
No, I know all those quotes.
Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing.
It's not that embarrassing.
Do they even make sense in this context?
No.
Or are these just like rambling old men? Okay. Rambling old men it is then. And other meaningless phrases. Oh, we keep saying things and then the story just immediately answers for us exactly what we're thinking. And other meaningless phrases repeated over and over
It's just
again
the
in
only-
an endless chant.
Like, in the game, it's the only thing they can say, so...
Okay, all right. So
The dongle
they're-
dislikes smoke.
It's a strange phrase.
Well, with the Dongo, you're supposed to throw a bomb in his mouth.
Oh. What's a
You don't know about the Dongo?
I don't think I've heard of Dodongo.
It's a giant dinosaur lizard.
Oh, you mean Yoshi? Mario didn't understand and he didn't care. He began stomping on the men. But unlike everyone else, the men were not harmed by his stomping. They didn't even notice. They just chanted their insane phrases to an increasingly deranged Mario. And that was not all. Their fires started exploding outwards, balls of lava that struck Mario. Mario thought his shoe would protect him from anything. But before long, the swarms of fireballs were enough to hurt Mario, and his shoe caught fire.
It's
robbing
adamantium,
him-
it can't catch fire.
They hurt Mario, and his shoe caught fire, robbing him of his omnipotence. The last thing he heard before he passed out was the voices of dozens of old men repeating phrases that made no sense. Well, this author, Glowing Fish, he's preaching to the choir when it comes to mentioning old men saving the day, because, we're all about that with, our series, Old
We
Man Irwin.
support the elderly.
We support the elderly, yeah. We're big elderly supporters. Please do not watch Old Man Irwin the movie. Just take our word for it. It's great. And no old men were harmed, and everything's fine. Mario woke up later, cradled in the arms of the princess. Now that the false feelings of power of the shoe had faded, he realized that he was lucky that the princess was always looking out for him. Oh, so he's not going to get beheaded? And overlooked the fact that he was wearing the same pair of sewage-tainted overalls for the past 20 years. Mario and the princess smiled at each other, knowing another adventure had come to a happy ending.
Oh?
Oh.
No way, bro.
I'll admit, I did not think that this was the direction the story was going to end on. In fact, you could say the entire direction of this kind of surprised me.
I'm disappointed
Yeah,
and disgusted.
I wouldn't say I'm disgusted, but there is a tinge of disappointment because we like, our violence.
Corrupt, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought Mario was gonna get his just desserts at the end. Maybe I thought Yoshi would like swallow him and turn him into egg. That didn't happen. I guess, yeah. And instead of Link, we thought that this would be a big Zelda Mario crossover. It was just some old men. I think they were going for humor there. I think that was the point.
Nintendo doesn't like smoke.
I could actually see Nintendo flubbing up their crossover just as much. Maybe they wouldn't put the old men in over Link, but like it would be some other stupid thing where like you can't play as Link all the time. You have to play as this new character.
Deku Scrubs.
Yeah, something like that.
As a avid Mario fan, I got Mario 3D All-Stars.
So you're one of those suckers that fell for that special trick.
It just seemed like great games to have on the Switch.
Yeah. You're right there.
It's not. I'm not gonna get the Skyward Sword HD.
Well, that's good.
That's just dumb.
They can't swindle you twice.
I mean, it looks no different. There's nothing new. It's only like button controls. And I had no problems with the motion controls and this. And like
really,
only like whiny little babies had issues with it.
Well, I feel like everybody I've heard who's talked about the game has said that they just dislike.
I've had no problems with it.
You might be the only person to ever say that, Cheese. But okay.
I don't know. All you have to do is just use the controls how you're supposed to and not flail around like a fool.
Well, it's also just awkward to have to move with the entire game. It's just a lot more comfortable to just sit down with the button.
I never had a problem with it.
Fair enough. You were younger back then. You were probably like 2 years old, so you were flailing around no matter what.
10 years ago.
Yeah, we were just babies back then. Now we're elderly people, and our bones hurt if we move too fast.
I can easily still play that game sitting down. So I was going to talk about how the 3D Mario games hold up and how they would stack in a ranking. And I have to say, 64 and Sunshine for me held up better than Galaxy.
Again, that seems like another opinion that I wouldn't expect out of most people, especially since a lot of people say Sunshine is like kind of a mess in places.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I've heard it's very fun, but it was also a game that people have known has been kind of like rushed, and they had to like cut corners, and it's a little glitchy in places.
It sure is. It
has a charm
to it.
It's a great
game. Yeah, it's weird.
I think the big problem, they do hold up well, and they deserve to be on the Switch for sure, but then Nintendo pulls a pro gamer move and charges $60 for these pretty old games, and they do almost nothing to update them. And then they pull the exact same trick with the Skyward Sword thing, which is even worse because that's just one game. It's just
and that's gonna be $60.
Yeah.
If it wasn't $60, I might actually get it.
It's a little ridiculous that Nintendo has reached a point now where they just feel so comfortable in the gaming industry that they can just be like, oh yeah, people will buy it because it's Zelda.
$60.
$60, yeah, $60.
Yeah, but like seriously, on the Nintendo, if Skyward Sword HD wasn't $60, I would buy it. I'm not gonna spend $60 on this game, Nintendo. Okay, back to Mario.
It's easy to kind of blur the lines because it's all kind of connected. They think they can get away with it with Mario, and they did. Mario 3D All-Stars sold very well because it was a limited release. We didn't even mention that. They only had it out for a certain amount of time, and now I guess we'll never get the chance to buy it ever again. So that was a pro gamer move. They're not doing that Skyward Sword remake, thankfully, but I mean, come on, what are you doing? Again, they're just very comfortable where they are. They're very comfortable with being, having all these IPs that aren't on any other consoles. They know they can get away with it because of how popular they are. So they probably need to be kind of humbled a little bit. You would have thought they would have got that from the Wii U, but now the Switch is doing so well, it's not the case. It's a whole thing.
So anyway, Mario 64. It's I've played it multiple times in my youth, so playing it again is kind of like speed running, and that was really fun. Mario Sunshine. Okay, so 64. A lot of the objectives can kind of be done really quick, which is why it's speed running. Mario Sunshine, the objectives take a bit more time, so it's kind of a slow paced game a little bit more, which actually is one thing I don't like about it, because you go into the worlds and then you get the star and you're just kicked out.
Yeah.
And you have to go back in.
Maybe they could have fixed that for 3D All-Stars. Maybe that would have broke the game in places, but...
I think Galaxy 2 is better than 1. You have to. You haven't played it.
Yes, I have to. Haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, most people say the Galaxy 2 is better, but both are still great games, of course.
Yeah, they are really good, but I don't know. I just like 64 and Sunshine better.
I think they could all be a lot better if they just had more slide puzzles. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? And it needs a ring-based combat system. I think that's one of the more important things.
The Galaxy games don't really have very memorable worlds. It's just a jumble of weirdly shaped planets.
Sure, a lot of it has a lot of ideas, but it's more linear than the other sandbox type games. I think that's what you're trying to get at.
The Galaxy games are kind of just a jumble of ideas that they kind of just threw at the wall and see what stuck.
And a lot of it did for a lot of people. Again, I think you're kind of alone in saying
I played it a lot as a kid.
Right.
But now, I'm just saying it didn't hold up as great as I thought it was as a child.
It'd be so easy to complain about Nintendo now and what they're doing with Mario if it weren't for Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey kind of proved that they can still pull off some amazing stuff with Mario, and they've still got it. So... for all the bad things we said,
gonna say
there are still good things.
That Odyssey is my favorite 3D Mario.
It's mine too, but then again, I haven't played
definitely
most of them.
Oh, the other ones are definitely worth playing, but Odyssey is definitely the best one.
They knocked it out of the park, so there you go. We're not totally negative. We're not that cynical. We can admit that modern things can still be good, if they actually try. Well... yeah, like I said, I don't think the story has any reviews unless you see any, Cheese. I don't see any.
No, it doesn't.
Every single story we've read for FanFic Talk Mini so far has had no reviews. We're the only people who have read these things. Again, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. I expected something like crazy to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't really happen. Mario just kind of lost his mind briefly. I guess he murdered an entire army, or maybe they're just knocked out. Luigi did nothing. Luigi loses by doing absolutely nothing.
Hey, bro.
Waluigi nowhere to be seen. No Yoshi fanfare. I mean, what's up with that?
All in all, 4 out of 10.
Well, yeah, you had high expectations for this one early on. You were saying how you were excited for it, and this is where your excitement has led you. So now you know, Cheese, never, ever be excited for a fanfic.
You'd think we'd have learned that lesson by now.
We really should have. We've learned a lot of fanfics. We really should know that.
So how do we wrap this up?
I have no idea. Should we just complain more about Paper Mario?
I guess.
All right, so listen here, folks. Tanabe, he's out of his mind. He's a hack. He doesn't know what he's doing.